Good morning. It's Christmas Day for college baseball fans. The NCAA Tournament starts today. Graham Doty joins me. We got a special guest. If you're a baseball fan, you know this guy in many ways. He's been a Rookie of the Year. He's made the All-Star game. He saved a ton of games, and now he's broadcasting them, and I'll see him tonight in Nashville. Please welcome to the show Gregg Olson, who is literally in foot transit to Hawkins Field to see Vanderbilt tonight. Gregg, thank you so much for joining us at what I know is a super busy time.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah, it's kind of underwater with four teams that I haven't had the chance to see this year. So you are, once I got the opportunity on Monday afternoon, started to dig into these four teams, and still, never feel like you know anybody well enough. So had to get my Diet Mountain Dew, get geared up, and walking over to the ballpark right now.
Gregg, what's the prep work like? Like you said, you find out where you're going and the four teams, and then you got just a couple of days to really dive in and prepare. So what's the week been like for you as you get ready for the regional in Nashville?
Like I said, I got it on Monday. I started working on Vanderbilt, and I started using a different program this year. I typed everything out, and I have learned that I'm not a very good typer, so it was caps, not caps, and it was just probably more time retyping my mess. But I go in, I try to find a little bit in their background, what they did last year, so I can find out who they are as players. In a lot of cases in college baseball, so where did he transfer from, or, was he hurt last year? He only got 10 at-bats. So you learn a little bit about them, and then, their evolution, and then we got one player here whose grandfather played for ETSU back in 46 to 50. Played college football, basketball, and baseball. So I'm like, I like that stuff. I like family histories, backgrounds. So I'll make a note of that, and just so I'm kind of ready to who these guys are. And we had coaches meetings all day yesterday. So then you can kind of dig in and find out who these kids are, in the coach's eyes. I'm sorry, I'm walking by the Louisville fan base and greeting their players as they get on the bus. I'm walking in the middle of it. There you go.
It's a maze around that campus right now with all the construction, although I think they've gotten through with a lot of it lately.
No, they haven't.
Oh, no, not where you are, huh?
No, I got lost yesterday thinking I was going to walk the normal way to get to the ballpark to the Marriott.
Right.
Like, okay, yeah, that ain't going to work. So walk through the football stadium, come walking out into the left field bullpen, and Tim Corbin's looking at me going, who are you and why are you walking onto my baseball field?
Well,
so, it took him a second, and then I took my sunglasses off, and he recognized me, and it was like we're all good. Just that split second of, and I've gotten that a couple times. Danny Hall at Georgia Tech, where I just come walking on the field, I don't have a badge, and get this look like this is my field. You might not want to be on it. So. Little fun things when you're trying to figure places out for the first time.
Yeah,
right now, my partner, Matt Vick, and I are trying to get into the ballpark.
I was going to say, if you need a pause to get your bearing, we can carry you for just a minute.
Can you let us in? Thank you. Please.
This is fantastic.
We're getting front row seats.
Oh, yeah.
We are.
Found a security guard. There's my partner.
Have we checked the weather forecast tonight for Nashville? Because I've not.
Thank you.
And it's been raining here nonstop lately.
Don't say that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's rule number one, isn't it?
Yeah. The worst words you can say during a regional is you might have rain.
Yeah. Well, let's scratch that from the record. Let's get this on the record. What are you most excited about seeing around the country, around the SEC, whatever caught your eyes as you get ready to start this tournament?
I mean, I've been doing the SEC all year, and so gotten to see most of those teams. And as always, SEC has been pretty dominant. ACC's been good. So talking to one of the coaches, and I won't name him, he said, this might be what the landscape's going to look like until the NIL deal and the transfer portal get under control. It's all going to be SEC and ACC and, maybe one other Big 12, two Big 12s. But you're not going to see the Stony Brooks and Citadels in 1990. You know what I'm saying? It's no, I'm going to go that way for a minute. I got to finish. Yeah. I'll see you after. All right. And that part of it's kind of sad to me, because that's, one of the great things about college baseball is, all right, ETSU and Louisville going off at 1 o'clock today. Well, I feel like ETSU's got a good chance.
We lost him for a minute.
Look like he's in that area. It's like in between the baseball stadium and right next to the football stadium.
Where cell phone signals disappear. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get him back in a minute, I'm sure. Sven, welcome. Glad you're here. You guys got a battle today. My goodness. Are they throwing Siri? I thought they were throwing
no,
Davis.
It's they are going Davis.
There he is.
Sorry about that.
No, you hit a dead spot there, I think. So glad you're back.
Well, yeah, I got a phone call.
So
yeah, then you kind of look at Wright State and you look at ETSU, and they're both powerhouses offensively, and it's just like, what chance do they have to compete when some of the SEC schools are millions of dollars in NIL?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes it. That's what that's got to get under control, or else we're just going to become a big school format.
Right. Greg, you've seen a lot of different teams this season. Like who are teams that have really stood out to you that have impressed you?
You know what? It's funny. It's a really evenly matched group at the top of. I had Texas for a couple games. Did my earbuds go on now? All right.
You sounded good.
All right. I don't know.
Here we go.
I had Texas for a couple games. The bottom of the.
Hey, Greg, we can't hear you. I think that your sound must be with the earbuds. There we go.
All right, we back off the earbuds again. Sorry about this.
Yeah, I think so. No, I know how that goes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had Auburn a bunch. Their offense has been hit or miss, and they're starting to solve their rotation. Oh, where else? Georgia's really good, really, really good at home. And they're a very offensive team. They can throw some arms out in the bullpen. Who else have I had? I have not had Tennessee, and I have not had Florida. So those are, those are obviously 4 of the top 8 programs, and I'm seeing Vanderbilt for the first time today.
I want you to talk about your alma mater for a minute. I feel like Butch Thompson always has his teams playing really well in these events, and I feel like nobody gets the most out of his team, maybe more than Butch Thompson. I feel like they've got an old bullpen, which is a good thing to have in this kind of setting. How are you feeling about them, and what's your concern level on Sam Dutton, who's not been the Sam Dutton we saw maybe the first 12 weeks?
Well, that's a great point. Yeah, no, he's struggled the last couple of weeks, and I just feel like guys have gone up there and he got hot early to middle part of the SEC, and he was able to really throw a curveball at about 70 to 72 miles an hour, and it was such a speed range. And I found out during my career that guys would go up there and they'd pick one pitch. They're knowing they're going to get either my curveball or my fastball. And those were the guys that I struggled with the most, the guys that sat there and tried to guess with me and move pitch to pitch throughout the at-bat. I ended up getting out a lot more often, but the guys that went up there going, all right, I'm just going to sit on a curveball, and I know I'm going to get one out of the next 3 or 4 pitches, gave me the most problems. So I'm starting to look at it and thinking maybe those guys are going, all right, I'm going to go up and I'm either going to sit on a curveball or I'm going to look for a fastball up at the belt, and I'm doing one or the other. And they're both vastly different pitches coming out of the hand as well. So I'm just wondering that. I don't have that answer. I'm just wondering. But I mean, Auburn hasn't been playing well lately. They lose 2 out of 3 at Ole Miss, and then they go 1 and out against A&M that didn't make the tournament. So you don't know what you got. Their offense has been really good at times, and it's been sluggish at times.
Greg, when you watch a pitcher, what is the trait that you look for the most? Is it something physical? Is it something mental? Just what do you think translate in the college level that can carry over to the next level?
For me, it's fastball command, and obviously that's not being shown a lot at the big league level anymore. So if you can command a fastball and locate it in and out, you're going to be successful. You're going to be able to pitch. If you can change speeds, throw something in a 2-1 count that's not a fastball. Just little things. It doesn't have to be a great breaking ball. It can be just a little cut fastball or change up or just something to, defend yourself behind in the count. Those are the guys I like to watch. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't mind the stuff guys that come out and just blow up a radar gun, because that was me my first 5 years. So be kind of doing myself a disservice if I didn't sit there and go, yeah, I do kind of like that too. But sitting there watching a college guy, if he's able to get ahead and locate and get some fastball takes that are good pitches on corners, then he's going to do well.
Well, having said that, I think you're going to enjoy the pitching staff that you're going to see in Nashville tonight. It's not the Vandy staff with 97, 98, 99 up and down the rotation and the bullpen, but there's more pitchability there. If you've not seen Connor Fennell, he's a treat. Cody Bowker's got really good stuff. I don't know how much you've seen them on TV, or I'm sure you've done some prep work, but I think that pitching staff, all the things you just described, I think that the team that's got that, I think this league right now, as much as anyone, is the one that you're about to see.
Oh, no, they've been absolutely lights out. Giving up 3 runs in the SEC tournament in 3 games is insane. Shutting out Tennessee is insane. I'm looking forward to it. And I was shocked when Fennell came walking out of the dugout, and he looks like he's 175 pounds.
That's because he is.
yeah, he might be. So that one was kind of shocking, and they got to be pretty excited when they get him into a weight room and put some pounds on. But yeah, no, there's some good arms that have a lot of pitchability with Vandy, and their offense has ticked up a lot over these past 8 games, and their 8-game winning streak, and so they seem like they got some pieces put in place and a little bit of moving parts from Rigdon moving from left field to second, getting Holcomb out in the outfield. I think they might have just kind of solved a couple of their issues, and that's going to be the key. They're going to run into some arm somewhere, and it's going to be a 2-1 game, and they need to be able to put a couple of runs up and give their pitchers some support.
What do you remember most about this time of year when you were playing at Auburn? Like, what makes it so much fun?
Well, I was sitting home for 2 out of the 3. So the one time we did go, we went to Huntsville, and Seton Hall came down, and they beat us game 1, I think like 15-6, and it was Mo Vaughn, John Valentin, and Craig Biggio.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
And against me and Frank Thomas, and my roommate ended up making it to the big league, Stacy Jones, for a minute. So then next game, it was just fun. I ended up throwing like 6 innings the next game to keep us in it, and we knocked out Seton Hall the next day 22-1. It's just a fun time. You get I can't think of who I was talking to yesterday. It's the first time in these kids' lives that there's no school, and they actually get to act like professional athletes. They don't have school, so they're waking up, they're going to the ballpark, they're getting a good workout in, they're doing a 3-hour practice, they're having meetings after practice. So this is the first feel of where your only concern in life is baseball. You know, you don't have to study and you don't have to go to class. And that's the funnest part of it all, is these guys get a chance to get a taste of the next level as Louisville's walking by me.
Yeah.
I mean, they just took a bus ride. I beat them by like 5 minutes.
This is pretty cool. Not often we get this, the live look in at the teams coming into the ballpark of the regional, but that's man.
Yeah. So
That
Louisville
really
got on a bus. And what time did we start? And I told you I said all the fans were getting them on the bus.
Yeah.
And I've been sitting here at the ballpark. I'm out in left field, and the bus just pulled up.
Yeah, well, it's true. You can walk faster around that campus right now.
No,
I
beat them. I beat them here by 8 minutes, and I don't know. Maybe I'm sure it's a superstitious thing of getting everybody on the bus and making sure no stragglers walking over. But no, it's kind of cool. We're in the same hotel with Louisville, and Coach McDonald's been down in the weight room with me both mornings at about 7 a.m. So had a couple nice conversations off the record, and just hearing different pieces of life.
What makes you love the college baseball game? Like you've been broadcasting games for a while now. What is it about the college game that you really enjoy?
How'd you get in there? You know what? It's just pure. The intensity, the emotion is just pure. I'm not trying to wreck everybody's world with Major League Baseball, but it's a job. You got 162 days, 162 games. You got to prepare yourself mentally, physically for 190 days. And the roller coaster ride and the emotions, it is very taxing. It's a job. College baseball, you got a Tuesday game, you got 3 games on the weekend, and then you practice and work out some kinks, and then you rinse and repeat and start it over again. So those 3 games are a lot more important than my 3-game weekend against Seattle, because in the end of it, in Major League Baseball, it's just kind of a blanket thing, and college baseball just feels like it's a lot more of a week-to-week, ride on the roller coaster up, and then a couple days off, and then do it again.
Greg, one of our regulars, Roger, was asking for takes on Arkansas. The Razorbacks look to me like one of the if I'm naming the teams on one hand that I think have got the best chance to win it all, I think one of them's Arkansas. Have you covered them much this year? What do you think? I know you've seen them, whether you've been at the park with them or not.
I have had them against A&M. Offense is really good, and they got some arms that they can rush out there like they always do. I think they are as legit as anybody else. You look at it, and I named a couple, and you got Vandy, you got Tennessee, and there you go, right next to a speaker.
Yeah.
I don't like the batting practice music anymore either.
Oh, no.
Anyway, Arkansas is as good as anybody. I mean, that was what Corbin said to his team, was like, we could be 1, we could be 6, we could be 7. Who knows how this thing's going to get seeded out? And I think that's really what it is. It's a grouping of really good teams. And you got Texas, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Georgia, Auburn. Flip a coin.
If I give you the SEC or the field to win it all, who are you taking?
Is there a bathroom? SEC.
Yeah.
Sorry, we got five in a row.
Yeah, and plus the runners up for most of those. But by the way, don't let us run you into anything like make you late for a meeting or get you hit by batting practice.
No, I got to start scribbling my notes, and I did half of them or most of them last night. But I usually end up spending batting practice on the field with the coaches for a little bit and just catching up, and so there's a little bit of work to do here before, and of course the lineups won't. I'll be lucky if I can get a picture of a lineup here and I can get started.
Well, let's get your picks on the way out. Do you have do you have a bracket for Omaha that you've made out yet? Have you done your official picks? And I can read you the regionals if you need them.
Well, I mean, you could pretty much sit there and go, 67% of regional hosts go on to a super.
Right.
And then probably about the same number of supers. So I would probably, look at it and go, I would probably just sit there and guess most of the hosts would walk out of there. There'll probably be a couple upsets. I honestly, like I said, when the thing came out, I live in Auburn, so I was thinking, all right, I already got Auburn done. I've seen them a ton, and then we get the phone call from ESPN that I'm doing Vandy, and I was like, all right. So I've been underwater with my regional. I haven't even looked to see who else is doing a regional, where everybody else is at. I mean, I know the usual suspects, but I'm not going to hesitate to guess on walking out. I gave you my 4 or 5 top SEC schools that are going to make a good run. And really, it's going to come down to my favorite part of this is going to be what player that hasn't played much this year, hasn't pitched much this year, steps up and is a hero. That's my favorite part, where they're remembered forever by their school for something he did here in 1st of June in one game where they stepped up, somebody got hurt, or they were out of arms, and they throw a kid that's got 5 innings all season, and he comes out and throws 5 innings and gets the win, and they move on. That's my favorite part of this all.
Graham, I'll give you the last one so we can let this man do the work that pays the
Well,
bills.
Greg, we very much appreciate it. We're getting a lot of comments in the chat, like your first team all mustache. You're getting a lot of love for your mustache. What's the maintenance like?
It's not really that bad. I guess it was getting a little bit low a couple weeks ago. My wife let me know. That was the fun part of the story was I was with the Diamondbacks their first 2 years of the existence, and the Orioles, my first 3 years wouldn't let us have facial hair, so they were trying to copy the Yankees. So I couldn't have a mustache, and so as soon as that got lifted, we got Rick Sutcliffe as a free agent. As soon as that got lifted, I grew a beard, and it was like, that really is not my look. And then the next year, I was like, always Goose Gossage was my favorite. So I grew the low Fu Manchu, and then I get to Arizona, and Showalter, being an ex-Yankee, has the rule that no facial hair below the mustache. Well, I start dealing, and I take over the closer's job, and the better I threw, the more the mustache started leaking down, and he'd be walking by me and basically doing what my wife would do, and just like, that thing's getting a little bit long. You need to pull it back up towards the lip a little bit, please. And I'd be like, yes, sir. And so same thing with my wife. I was like, all right, I got to reel it in a little bit. It's getting back to playing days where it's getting down into the chin. So I tell everybody I appreciate that. Had the mustache longer than I've had my kids. So.
Oh, I think it's a keeper in that case. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg, thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you tonight in Nashville and have a fun trip. All right.
All right.
Thanks, Greg.
Right. Thanks, guys.
Enjoy it.
Thank you. That's SEC Network announcer Gregg Olson, former Rookie of the Year for the Orioles, former Major League closer, had over 200 saves.
He's in the Orioles Hall of Fame. I didn't know that he was going to be walking to the ballpark. It looked like, what's the hotel? Is that the Marriott? Right next, literally. Well, it's like P.F. Chang's, the Marriott, and then like the Vandy football stadium and all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it is a construction maze around there these days.
Yeah.
That's funny that he beat the bus.
Yeah.
But so I'm not surprised.
He's phenomenal. So when he retired and all that, he moved back to Auburn. And I've done a decent amount of Auburn games with him over the years. And he like the first game I did with him, it's like, holy cow, this guy is phenomenal. And then like he's doing more and more like national linear games. So I figured this time of year he'd be a good person to get on just because he's literally seen so many different teams, mostly SEC and ACC.
That's the second former Orioles pitcher we've had on in 6 weeks?
It is, yeah. He and Ben McDonald.
Yeah, of course, and also the SEC tie with Ben McDonald. That was fun too. Yeah,
Yeah. How about the team that Auburn faced in the tournament back when he was playing?
Seton Hall.
Seton Hall with Mo Vaughn, an MVP, and Craig Biggio, a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Seton Hall baseball in news for other reasons lately, but that was a team. Yeah, I guess you saw that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Goodness. Yeah, where do you want to go? We've got what any big news the last 12, 24 hours? I mean, we got pitching matches. Somebody dropped in the chat that oh, good grief. Ben Cleaver's going for Kentucky today.
Is he? Honestly, like, that's not that bad of a move. Like, he's got the best ERA of anybody on staff, and he's been absolute nails down the stretch for Kentucky.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Roger. Yeah, we need to give a shout out to Game Time Sidekicks here in a minute. But yes, people asking if we're doing a break. We did not. I did that out of respect to D1. We're sort of in the same space. I didn't want to. It's kind of like going in somebody else's restaurant and advertising for yours. I've got friends over there. I didn't think it was great form, so I didn't. I would like to. I didn't fill a bracket out till last night, and then it was, here's a 1 seed. Here's another 1 seed. Oh, maybe here's a 2. That kind of thing. So,
yeah, it is like, hey, one thing I've learned: America loves a bracket, right? March Madness. Now here we are with the regionals and more brackets. So, all about making a bracket.
Yeah. Let's do our picks, though. We can do that if I can find the regional pairings. I've got 10,000 things open on my desktop.
By the way, Josh, I was watching that when it happened. Tennessee softball, brutal loss. Holy smokes!
That wasn't it for them, was it?
No, they play today. They're in the elimination side of the bracket. Tennessee's on the side of the bracket where it's all SEC teams.
Yeah. Good. Kind of like the right side of this one. Okay, let's go down the left side. Vanderbilt, Louisville, ETSU, Wright State. We both took Vandy, correct?
Yeah, I'm definitely taking Vandy.
Confidence factor?
Pretty high.
1 to 10.
9.5.
Wow. Okay.
I would go 9.
I'll go about 8. I don't know that I'll go 9 for anybody. Southern Miss, Alabama, Miami, Columbia. I think we both went Alabama, did we?
See, you made that one with Alfred.
Okay.
But here's what I'll say. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to go Bama just because I think they got the best offense of anybody in that regional. I think Southern Miss has the best pitching, though, but I think Bama has the best offense. So give me the Tide.
Yeah, that's where I went too. But by the way, we'll pick a runner-up. I'm going East Tennessee State as the runner-up in Nashville.
Are you really? Wow. So you think that offense translates?
It might. I mean, when the weather gets warmer here, the ball can carry at Vanderbilt more than you might think. And they've got a little bit of pitching too. Louisville's going to throw Patrick Forbes today, who's their best guy. He's like a second roundish type pick, so they had better win that one. I just don't think Louisville's pitching is what it normally is.
Yeah, they steal a ton of bases though.
They do
a lot. I think they got more than 150.
Yeah. That's something I should have charted is how do you do it controlling the running game? Like I've got a list of a million things, and that's one thing I did not do. So are you going Louisville second in that one?
Yeah, give me Louisville. I like Dan McDonald a lot.
Yeah, I think everyone does. Okay, so are we going Alabama 1, Southern Miss 2?
Yeah, definitely Southern Miss 2. And yeah, guys, I know Southern Miss is a great program. That place is going to be packed, Pete Taylor Park, but their problems over the years has been whenever they run into an SEC team, a la Ole Miss. Ole Miss beat them in Hattiesburg in the Supers. They were recently matched up with Tennessee as well. That has been the difference for them.
Confidence level 1 to 10 on Alabama.
Like a 3.
Yeah, that's about where I am too. I think that's a toss-up regional. I don't know that I take Miami or Columbia as big threats to win it, which means one of them probably will. Won't be Columbia though. But Oregon State, TCU, Southern Cal, St. Mary's. I think I'm going TCU to win it, followed by Oregon State.
Are you really? So
Uh-huh.
this one was a tough one for me when I was just sitting down and thinking about it. Give me Oregon State just because they're at home and this is a team and program they've been in environments like this. I think TCU will make it to the regional finals.
I think Southern Cal could be a sneaky little threat too, maybe. So, confidence level in your pick?
4.
I'm going to go about a 2. I really don't like picking against Oregon State there, but that felt like one of the places I could take a shot. Florida State, Northeastern, Mississippi State, Bethune-Cookman, and Tallahassee.
I went with Florida State just because they got the ACC Pitcher of the Year and the ACC Player of the Year. I just think they got the most talent. Fascinating regional, though. With everything going on with Mississippi State, I know they are a very trendy 3-pick to make it out of there. And then Northeastern, just like what in the world are they going to look like when the lights shine the brightest?
Yeah, I didn't really like what State did with its pitching today. But we'll see. I mean, if you win that gamble, then that's really paid off. Then you got Pico Cone against Jamie Arnold. So, and I'm guessing that's what Parker was thinking there. So,
yeah, I just thought we would see Sierra, not like a bullpen guy getting the start.
Yeah, I'll go FSU, but it's a confidence level like a 2. I think there's 3 teams that could maybe win that regional.
Josh, I'm with you about Northeastern, but they are getting a ton of love just because they are a feel-good story. I mean, you don't hear about Northeastern in any sport.
No. Okay. UNC, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Holy Cross. I think that's a 2-team regional. I think it's more intriguing now by the way Oklahoma has structured its pitching, but I'll go chalk there with 1 and 2s, Carolina and Oklahoma.
Yeah, give me Carolina. Fascinated to see what Malachi Witherspoon looks like getting the start for game 1.
Yeah. Okay. So
UNC confidence level 10 by Paxton in the chat. That's a big number. I think I would go like 5.
I was looking today. It's I was looking in BA and in MLB Pipeline. Each of their starters, Crossland and both Witherspoons, was rated by somebody inside the top 150 prospects for the draft.
Really?
I don't know that anybody else has got a rotation with 3 guys that are all like top 5 rounders. And that's taking the high of different ones.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little selective, but still.
Yeah. Well, good news for Sooner fans.
Oregon, Arizona, Cal Poly, Utah Valley. I would be lying to you if I told you I've spent a lot of time looking at that one. I felt like Oregon is a good pick to do some damage, and I'll go there.
Yeah, give me the Ducks. I think Oregon over Arizona. I wouldn't be surprised if that one goes down to the wire.
Yeah. Auburn, North Carolina State, Stetson, Central Connecticut.
Auburn.
Yeah.
I know they didn't close strong, but guys, like when I say it's going to be packed at Plainsman Park, it's going to be packed.
Okay, Coastal Florida, East Carolina, Fairfield.
Give me the Gators.
Yeah. I'll take them too. Coastal runner-up. All right, other side of the bracket, Texas, UTSA, Kansas State, Houston Christian. I think it's the 1-2s again. Man, I'm so freaking boring. This is horrible. I'm going chalk on pretty much everything. But I've looked at it backwards, forwards, and sideways most of these, and like the teams are seeded the way they are for a reason.
Well, and the numbers favor. I mean, Greg just said it. It's like, 63-64% of the time the host team wins the regional. So history is and the numbers are on your side.
UCLA, Irvine, Arizona State, Fresno.
So it's UCLA. Who are the other ones in it?
UC Irvine, Arizona State, and Fresno State. Fresno State's got some pros on that team, by the way.
Man, it seems like they always have a guy. By the way,
Mm-hmm.
did you see that
That
graphic?
Aaron Judge guy, he turned out
Yeah,
okay.
they had that graphic where all these guys were at Fresno State at the same time. Paul George for basketball, Derek Carr and Devontae Adams for football,
Wow.
and Aaron Judge and somebody else. They were all at Fresno State at the same time. That's incredible.
That is wild.
But having said that, give me the Bruins. Give me UCLA.
I'll take Irvine over UCLA just to be a little different. I think Duke, Georgia, Oklahoma State, and Binghamton, the more I dug into, is way more fascinating than I thought because of what people can pitch. By the way, Georgia today against Binghamton, I'm surprised. They're going with Leighton Finley. I would have saved him for later in the regional and just opened somebody, but I guess Wes Johnson taking no chances here. So,
and then what? Potentially Curley against Duke
or Oklahoma State, which has got a couple of dudes.
Yeah, man, Oklahoma State is getting a ton of buzz lately. I mean, like, I know they closed strong. They won their last 3 Big 12 series, but I don't think they have 30 wins yet. So
the Big 12 was nothing like the SEC.
Yeah. I saw there a lot of people were picking Oklahoma State to win that regional. I was just surprised.
Are we going chalk here?
Yeah, I'm going Georgia and Athens.
Yeah. Okay. I think this one is the most wide open of all of them. Ole Miss, Georgia Tech, Western Kentucky, Murray State. I think every team here could win a couple of games. I'm going with you. You got a lot of confidence in Ole Miss's bullpen. And after watching them last week, by the way, you know who else is moving up draft boards? Is Mason Morris. Have you noticed that?
Big time. Yeah, big time. He was like top 30 from the Athletic as far as like prospects.
And Western's got a top 5 round outfielder too. Weidman, I think is his name.
Yeah, he's got like 1 million stolen bases. It's more like I think he's got like 48 or 49. Still an insane amount of stolen bases. If I told you for Georgia Tech that they have not made it to the Super since 2006, would that change your mind?
Well, I was going Ole Miss anyway, so gosh, maybe Ole Miss and Western in the final. Western's got a ton of pitching.
It's happened before. Happened in 2009, and Drew Pomeranz was Superman.
But see, Georgia Tech makes me nervous that it could win the regional. I'm not even picking them to the final two.
I think it'll be Ole Miss and Georgia Tech. But again, you're looking, and I'm picking the Rebels. But this is a very challenging regional with like high level top arms, but mostly these teams are good on offense.
Yeah, if there's a regional that I want no part of picking, it's that one. And it's nothing against Ole Miss. It's just I think they drew the stiffest draw of anybody. Maybe not the toughest two, but like everybody is just it's murder. Yeah, Josh, I agree. Tourney could be complete chaos.
Supers will be great.
LSU, Dallas Baptist, Rhode Island, Little Rock. That's absolutely a 2-team race. By the way, Dallas Baptist has got a pro prospect in its rotation named Micah Bucknam, who was at Ole Miss, not at Ole Miss, at LSU on the staff last year, going to Dan Hefner's program and really blossomed into a potential big league arm. So there's your storyline. There's no way I'm taking anyone but LSU.
Yeah, same. Give me LSU.
Clemson, West Virginia, Kentucky, Upstate. I want to pick Kentucky. I've just seen their bullpen run out of guys late in series too many times, and I can't do it. But I think Clemson will take them and take Kentucky in the final.
So you're not high on West Virginia making it to the regional finals?
No.
Yeah, I'm going with Clemson just because I think they're the best team consistently top to bottom.
Arkansas, Kansas, Creighton, North Dakota State. I'm taking Kansas. I mean, not Kansas. I'm taking Arkansas without blinking here.
Same. Yeah.
Kansas is probably your 2. I just think pitching is going to win out, and Arkansas's got more than most anybody. And then Tennessee, Wake Forest, Cincinnati, Miami. I think this one is a sneaky good regional. Tennessee's apparently going to go Doyle tonight. Miami's got an ace. I mean, I say ace. We'll see what they do against an SEC lineup. But I think the guy they're throwing keeps the ball in the park. So that's a big thing. Wake Forest and Cincinnati, again, if you're Tennessee, throwing Marcus Phillips, I think you'd prefer to play Cincinnati, but they run a lot. I mean, I think this one could go a lot of ways. I'm going Tennessee and not betting against Tennessee at home, and I'll go chalk here too.
Yeah, I'll lean on Tennessee. I don't feel great about it. It feels like it's been forever since they last won a home series, but give me the Vols. And by the way, Wes, like I agree, it's like an upset always happens. Like
Yeah.
he said, no way all top 16 seeds win. I mean, yeah, it very rarely happens.
I think I picked 15 or 16. That's terrible. But the ones where I think that the 2s are most likely to come out. Well, no, I took Alabama too, so I guess I took 14. I think Alabama, Florida State, Ole Miss. Florida's a 2, so I guess I did take 3 2s, but SEC teams, 2 of them. I think it's a pretty balanced tournament, to be honest with you.
I do too.
All right, let's do Omaha. We've got Vanderbilt against Alabama. I'm taking Vandy.
Same, yeah.
Oregon State or TCU against Florida State.
See, that's an interesting one. Give me Florida State. But that's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, I want to look at TCU for just a minute before I make a pick.
Josh says the difference this year is the committee did their job. The hosts are all really good. I agree. I think we both gave the committee like an A on the job they did.
I would come off that a little bit with the seeding. Like I thought that Texas got a really easy draw comparatively. I thought that LSU got a gift in the 3 and 4 in its regional. Although Dallas Baptist is no joke. And then you look at what Ole Miss got. I think once I looked at it a little deeper, I wasn't quite as impressed, but I still think they did a really good job. I'd give them A-, B+.
Yeah. Still a good job. Boy, how awkward do you think that conversation was with Southeastern Louisiana's athletic director when he went back home and his team was the first team out?
Well,
so when he meets with a head coach, what was that meeting like?
I think they were one of the first 4 out. I heard, I think it was D1 talking about this, and they thought that was just for show.
I can see it.
I mean, it's just kind of a let's throw them in there.
Make them feel good.
Because you're right, because it doesn't really matter. Let me see I want to see if TCU's got enough pitching. I'll go Florida State. Jamie Arnold. It's good for a game, and then take your chances. Who've we got? North Carolina, Oregon. That is going to be a tremendous super regional. I'll take Carolina, though.
Same.
Auburn and Florida. Ooh, man.
Did they play in the regular season? Okay. See, give me Auburn just because it'll be at Auburn.
I'm going to go Florida. But I'm a little nervous about Florida getting out of Coastal. I think it will, but Coastal's a tough one.
Mm-hmm. Pitching.
Texas against whoever. Texas.
Who are they? Who was is that Southern?
I think I took Irvine and you took UCLA. Okay. Johannesburg is matched up with Nashville.
Okay. Yeah. Texas. Yeah.
Georgia or Ole Miss in Athens.
See, that's a tough one because if it does end up being Ole Miss, Georgia, you got 2 teams that are built
Yep.
in similar fashion. So to me, it's like, do you trust Georgia's pitching more, or do you trust Ole Miss's pitching more? I think that will, if that does happen, it's a fascinating series. Even if it's Georgia Tech, Georgia, it's going to be fun. That's a tough one. Since it's in Athens, I'll go Georgia.
I think I'll go Georgia, and part of it is just I'm hesitant about Ole Miss to get out of the regional. Again, nothing against Ole Miss. I just think that's the toughest draw.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Georgia's got the easiest path of any team in that grouping, but I'm like, I have no read on what's going to go down on either of those.
Right.
Because I again, that's one where I can see 3 teams winning either one. So I'll just kind of make it easy and go Georgia at home. I think LSU is going to get out of its regional and then take down whoever comes out of Clemson.
Agreed.
And then Arkansas, we saw that once in Fayetteville, and I will take Arkansas again. I know that fan base feels like it's cursed, and I get it.
Yeah, I would pick the Hogs as well. And if you're the fans, like, man, you can't go in there with nervous energy and like the first sign of adversity, like, here it goes
Right.
again.
That feels like that would play right into Tennessee's hands.
Yeah, it definitely would. I mean,
Okay.
I've been in stadiums like that. 2018, Ole Miss, Tennessee Tech, when Tennessee Tech, they won like 15-5, something like that, to force the final and deciding game. And boy, that's the last game in that regional. To say it was tense would be an understatement.
So we've got Vanderbilt, Florida State, North Carolina, and Florida or Auburn coming out of the left side. Who makes it to the title series?
All right, say those again.
Vanderbilt will be matched up with Florida State in game 1 of Omaha, and North Carolina will play either Auburn or Florida. We went differently there.
I would say of that side of the bracket, I like Vandy.
Yeah, I do too. North Carolina, Florida will be a dandy, though, if they get there. Or even Coastal, if Coastal gets out of its regional. Okay, other side, and this is not that anybody's got an easy draw on the left side, but I mean, we got Texas at Georgia. I think Texas, the conditions play more to Texas there on that side. And then we've got LSU and Arkansas in the bottom part. I think I like LSU.
The pitching.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
You know me, I almost always go top end pitching.
That one's so hard for me. LSU, Arkansas. Did they play in the regular season?
Yeah, they did. I think. Gosh, everything's a blur now.
Yeah. I guess LSU. It's like a crapshoot at this point.
Yeah, they LSU. Remember, that's right. Near the end of the season, next to last week, they took Arkansas 2 of 3 in their park. 5-4, 13-3, and then lost 7-4.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and then we've got Vandy coming out of the left side, and I've got LSU coming out of the right side. Is that what we've got?
Yeah. I think it's gonna be Vandy against either LSU or Arkansas.
Yeah. And I think I like whoever comes out of the right side.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's our boring picks.
Yeah. I don't feel confident about it at all.
I feel a lot of confidence about LSU. I probably feel more confident about Arkansas than a lot of the fan base does.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that.
And I feel way better about Vanderbilt than I would have a few weeks ago based on the way the pitching is structured.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they figured that part out.
Yeah. And Fennel is just like a wild card, essentially,
Right.
on what they want to do with him.
Tournament starts in 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's about that time. Again, that was so cool for Gregg to hop on. Like when he said he'd do it, I literally didn't think that he was going to be walking to the ballpark, which was a lot of fun.
That was.
Seeing the send-off for Louisville. So obviously Louisville's the first game.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see, what games are we about to see? We're about to see shoot. I've got this somewhere. I know Kentucky plays an 11 o'clock game. There's several. There's like 3 11 o'clock. I think, is Georgia playing at 11?
Georgia is delayed, according to my phone.
Good grief. That already?
But it's the ESPN app, so take it with a grain of salt. North Carolina is about to get underway. Kentucky, West Virginia, Florida, East Carolina, Wake, Cincinnati. These are games that are about to start.
Okay. And I think we were going to live stream around 2 o'clock Central. And what we were going to do, that should be about the time that Kentucky and a couple other teams are wrapping up. And then Arkansas and LSU will be, I think, getting started.
Yeah, and there's a lot of games, a lot of major games at the 2 o'clock window, 2 and 3 o'clock windows.
All right, Graham, parting thoughts.
Just excited, looking forward to it. Again, one of my favorite channels is when they do the look around and you peek in on all the different regionals and like what's happening, like college baseball version of Red Zone. So that's on ESPN Plus. I wish most of these games aren't on ESPN Plus. I wish they would put them like on ESPN and ESPN2 and things like that to make it easier for the fans to watch. But just I feel like we talk about this so much, and it's finally here. So enjoy it, everybody.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I'm gonna go watch in the room behind me. I'll have 2 TVs on. I'll have whatever game I'm focused on probably the small one, and squeeze play on the big one.
Yeah, squeeze play. I couldn't think of the name of it. It was like, what do they call it? Squeeze play.
Yeah. All right. I think that's a wrap. Oh, Game Time Sidekicks. I don't think I've got the read yet, but my goodness, you guys need to check out their tumblers. They are incredible. Stainless steel. They're actually made in Knoxville. Super, super high quality. Glad we've got them as a partner. I don't know that I have the promo code yet in the link, but I'm going to get that to you soon. Keep that on your radar. Start getting your plans today for Father's Day gifts, because you're going to want this. They've got individual teams, SEC, outside the SEC. We'll get you all the information on that coming up. I think it's actually GameTimeSidekicks.com. Well, there's a promo code. I'm just not sure if it's active yet. So rather than do that, I'll wait. Most of you guys are regulars anyway. So just keep that in mind. We appreciate their partnership. Love their stuff. All right. Enjoy your baseball watching. May your favorite team win. For Graham Doty and Chris Lee, you've been watching our baseball content at Southeastern 16. God bless you. We'll see you again soon around 2 Central with some reaction on the early games. And then tonight, I think at 10 is when we're going. So hope to catch you guys all then. We'll see you later.